Hi, Raghu. How are you?
Great to see you. Thank you very much, first of all, for
No,
accepting the invitation and coming live on Insta.
it's a pleasure. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, it's our pleasure too. Come on, you are our guest and hero.
Thank you.
Aditya, now I'm going to read out a brief intro about you. Don't feel shy. Okay, I'm going to prize you.
Sure.
Okay, like many racing champions today, Aditya Patel also started off in karting. He was a karting champion. In 2007, Narayan Karthikeyan handpicked him to race in the Formula Roland category. He went on to become a champion. And then he raced in Formula BMW. In his debut season, he reached the podium. Later on, Aditya made a switch from Formula to sports cars, that is tin top, which was a surprise because many racers do it in the evening of their careers. But Aditya took the decision rather early, and it proved to be a wise one. And then he got a contract from Audi India, following which he also got an opportunity to race in Grand Touring. Now he is Audi's road car instructor in India. He is in charge of training programs for Audi customers. So if you buy an Audi car, you might get Aditya to teach you so how to do.
Definitely.
Huh?
That's for sure. That is for
Huh?
sure. There's no might
Okay.
about it.
So, potential Audi customers, I am talking to Aditya on Insta Live. You can talk to him in person if you buy that, dirt
No,
cheap.
no, anywhere. I'm sure they'll find me at a racetrack if they ever land up.
And no, I'm not finished yet. I'll come to that.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Aditya is now an entrepreneur. Now he runs this X1 series with his good friend Arman. He's into e-sport and then virtual racing and whatnot. Aditya is the son of Mr. Kamlesh Patel, and he was a former national rally champion, name to be reckoned with on the racing circuit. He had raced the Sholavaram circuit, the reputable Sholavaram circuit. Above all, Aditya, many people have told me, is the most lovable guy on the racing circuit. I can vouch for it because my closest friend Santosh has told me. Many other friends have also told me. Aditya, how is it possible? How can you be nice to so many people? Do you
Don't
have
know.
enemies? Do you have
I
enemies?
don't know. I'm surprised so many people think I'm nice to them, actually.
Is it no? No, I mean, how is it possible? I'm not nice to everyone. You
I
see
don't
my
know.
Twitter page.
I think I don't see the evil in too many people. So I
Oh,
always see
okay.
the good side of people, I guess. Maybe
Great,
that's the reason. I don't know.
great, Aditya. And you have that baby face, right? You are no longer a teenager, but you still
I'm
have that.
trying to grow some hair to hide the baby face, but it's not working that well.
Okay. Aditya, you have too much head space. Can you just move a little closer? Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Just like, okay.
Fantastic. Yeah. So is that an advantage having a baby face so that no, whatever you do, people say, oh, Aditya wouldn't have done it. Aditya is such a nice guy.
Maybe it must be actually. A lot of people don't estimate. They underestimate what can actually happen on the track, and it's very
Uh,
different to what happens off the track. So I can use it to my advantage, I guess.
Sports Dynamics has already chipped in. Behind the baby face lies a hardcore racer. Everybody knows it.
Uh,
Ramji, everybody knows it.
Sports Dynamics has been the one that has been whipping me into a hardcore racer over the last few years. So
Okay. And Ramji told me as soon as I put up the poster about your Insta session, he was thrilled. He was
uh,
really excited. You're having Aditya, such a nice guy, and he also gave me some dope, saying, "No, you are a fitness freak, and you have been working with Ramji of Sports Dynamics for close to 15 years."
yeah.
Tell us something about your fitness regimen, and how obsessed are you with your fitness?
Well, when I started out actually in my early career, I wasn't very keen on fitness. And it took me a few years to realize how important it is. But then after I started training with Ramji, and this was 2007 or 2006, I started seeing the fun side of fitness. You know, Ramji always made your workouts very, very difficult, but also enjoyable in many ways. And in fact, now his team is a great team. We have good fun. We always have a good laugh when we're at the gym, and every now and then we meet. We go out for a good meal as well.
Okay.
So there's a good mix of working hard but also having fun. And Ramji always makes sure that that happens in his gym. But I do enjoy it. And now, actually, that we're locked down and I can't go to the Sports Dynamics, I'm actually working out from home. Every evening, I make sure I spend at least 45 minutes to 1 hour to work out. If I don't, I automatically just feel the next day that that I've definitely not done anything and I'm gaining weight already. So
Aditya, I have not yet seen the one funny side. I don't work out that much. So I have to see the funny side. No, no funny side of workouts, basically.
oh, yeah, no, the workouts are not funny. No, no.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
after that, we always have a laugh somehow.
Okay,
His
okay.
team is good fun.
So tell us something about Ramji which we don't know. Nobody knows.
Oh, I think he's watching
So
it.
you would be keen to know that.
I guess Ramji, to most people, he seems like he's very, very serious.
Okay.
But there is this fun side to him, and he always has this thing about. He says, "Don't take life too seriously. It doesn't matter. Do what you want to do. Eat what you want to do. Whenever you want to do it. Just have to do it in moderation and enjoy yourself." He's not about, no, no. This is what you have to eat. This is what you have to drink. This is how when you sleep. This is when you wake up. He's very, very flexible that way. For him, it's all about enjoying life, and he always makes sure that all the kids also believe in the same.
Absolutely. Well said, Aditya. Now, I told him this morning,
Mhm.
you are spreading no, positivity, positive energy all around Ramji. And he blushed. That's what I felt. I don't know him as well as you do, but still, from the
No, no,
look at it,
absolutely. I mean, when you walk into the gym from the corner, you'll always hear somebody say "Kana," and then there's always 10, 15 minutes of good fun and jokes going around.
it always helps, right, to have your trainer to have that funny bone, right? Otherwise, it's going to be, if
Yeah,
he is stern, it's like, if he's like a martinet, once you
I
step into
won't even go to the gym
the
in the morning. Then I'll stay at home. Yeah.
Okay. Aditya, now we would like to know more about your family, and your father was a great rallyist himself, was into racing. So tell us about his career and about your childhood. How did you catch this racing bug? Please tell us briefly.
So my father, well, of course, he was always interested in cars. He was actually a civil engineer by education, but that's because his father wanted him to be a civil engineer. But he gave up on that very early, and he went to Bombay to learn about cars. And then after that, apart from just tuning cars and prepping them for racing and rallying, he started doing it himself. And I guess when I was born, this was something I saw literally 6 months after I was born. I think I was already at a racetrack, and
Okay.
and I've been seeing this since I was a kid, and always not just what goes on the track, but off the track, behind the scenes, between him, his teammates, and the people who are driving his cars. I know. I mean, after I was born, he didn't do much rallying, but I know that he did a lot of rallies, and he was very successful at it. So I definitely want to try my hand at it as well. But it did play a big role in molding my initial stages of my career because I guess starting out as a kid, when you're exposed to it, it's always something that you always watch on TV and you want to do, and you're excited to actually know more about what you see around you. And when the opportunity came, and when I was old enough, I got into a go kart and I absolutely loved it. And again, this was my dad taking me to a go kart track,
Okay.
just for fun. In fact, he had bought me a go kart when I was 4 years old as well. So there
Okay.
was always that little bit of that bug that was there in me. And when I started to enjoy it, that's when he realized, okay, now I can actually help him take this forward. But what's interesting is my dad he never coached me. He never came and
Okay.
said, this is where you need to
Okay.
turn, this is where you need to brake. He always let me just learn it by myself. And I think that's really what's helped me evolve into the kind of driver I turned out to be.
Fantastic. Thanks, Mr. Senior Patel, for inspiring your kid. So, I mean, that's great to hear. And where did you study, Aditya? Where do you start your schooling? And can you tell us briefly about the places where you studied?
So my early schooling till the fourth, I was in a school called Harrington House School, a very small school in Chennai. And after that, I moved to DAV Boys School. So DAV Boys School, I'm sure you know, very popular, very very strict. Um,
Okay. Means no co-education, only boys.
only boys, yeah.
So, how much did you miss girls that time? Your friends?
Um, I guess I mean all my friends were also all together in a boys' school, so
Okay.
um, we didn't know any better, I guess, in school. But then after that, the tough part was I went to Loyola College.
Okay, okay, okay.
So that's also boys mostly, predominantly. And by this time I was in college, and but I guess most of my focus and my priorities were always with racing those days.
Okay.
So it was just always thinking about the next race, the last race, and things like that. So now when I look back, it's crazy how those times just flew like that.
Basically, you had a miserable school and college life. Huh? You basically had a miserable.
I missed out on my childhood.
When you were thinking about other stuff, you were into racing. Okay, that's okay. Your passion was racing from the beginning. That's cool. And
No, but I took my time off also to think about
are
other
you
stuff. So.
are you catching up on the missed times now? School, college, you didn't have much.
Kind of not now, but maybe in the years in between after school, college.
Okay.
It's been years since I finished college actually now. So
Okay,
it's been a long time. And so yeah, I spent a few years catching up, but now I feel
Okay,
like
we
I've
can.
got past that phase and I'm a bit old.
You have a lot of years ahead. You still have that baby face, so don't worry.
I have to sleep at 11 o'clock. If I go past it, then it's too late.
Okay, okay, okay. Aditya, where do you live in Chennai, by the way?
T Nagar.
T Nagar. Okay, from your childhood, you have been living in the same place from your
Always.
birth?
Yeah, always same house,
Oh.
same room. I haven't moved out of this.
Okay. What do you like about T Nagar? No, everybody loves to come there for shopping. As a Pakka T Nagar guy, what do you like about T Nagar? And what you don't like about it?
I like the fact that it's very centrally located in the city. And, wherever I need to go, it's always 20 minutes this way, 20 minutes that way. If I'm going to Adyar, it's 20 minutes. If I'm going to Central Station, it's 20 minutes. If I'm going to Nungambakam and beyond Kilpok, it's like 15, 20 minutes. So I like the location. It's very, very central. And the part of a part of T Nagar that I live in is very quiet as well. We're very fortunate to have a cricket ground right in front. And it's a private ground. It's a Ramakrishna Mission ground, so it's very, very sparingly used. So it's a good open view in the middle of the city, and it's very quiet and peaceful. So I guess, and it's home for me. It's at the end of the day, it's home.
Okay, how strong is your love for Chennai? Basically, I know being a Chennai guy out and out. So how strong is your love for the city?
Yeah, I mean, among all the cities in Chennai, I can't see myself living in India. I mean, I can't see myself living anywhere else. I can only live in Chennai.
Okay.
I love it. It's very peaceful. Everybody's very friendly, very calm. It's not this Bombay type of environment, where people are always working, always doing something. Don't want to go back home. But here, even with me, with my friends, we like to spend a lot of time at home. Either I go to their home, they come to my home. So it's there's a very different kind of atmosphere.
Okay, okay. Are you very close to your friends, childhood friends, or do you have only racing friends now? Are you still in touch with your school, college friends?
Most of my friends are school, college friends, actually.
Oh, okay.
I guess because of WhatsApp and everything, we stayed in touch. And these are the friends I meet every week, actually, and maybe not now in the last 1 month.
Okay. If you tell me you are meeting them, maybe some police guy will take note and then ask you.
Yeah.
You're not maintaining social distancing.
No, but it's good. All of us, we have very different likes. So none of them are very big racing fans. They don't know so much about what I do. I don't know so much about what they do. But we have this friendship from childhood, which is more about just who we were then and who we are from the inside, I guess.
It's better, right, Aditya? Not talking about your life, your career all the time, right? You need to switch off and then talk about other things in life, other interests, maybe about their jobs and some other hobbies.
Exactly. I mean, and what we usually love talking about is food, travel, things like that. So it's a great. We meet usually on Saturdays, so and it's a very nice, relaxing Saturday that we have usually in somebody's house.
I can see the joy in your eyes. Enjoy having fun.
No, I mean it's been a while. And then now a few of them are married, but before they all got married, we gave it a name. We used to call it Thambi's Night. So together on Saturday.
Okay, you have lots of fun. I hope you would have had a lot of fun during those days, during those parties, Thambi's parties.
Yeah. I mean, it's only 5-6 of us. It's not so many. Also, it's a small group, but very, very intimate, close, and good fun.
Great, great, Aditya. And did you play any other sport in your younger days, in your school days, or a normal sport kids play?
Not very seriously, actually. My dad used to try and teach me table tennis, but that was more for my reflexes when I was karting, my early days. I played some tennis as well, but as a hobby. Um, tried to learn the keyboard, but that's not a sport.
Okay,
But nothing really was that interesting to me as much as racing.
okay,
And so then I just kind of stuck to that and kept doing that. Even now, I mean, the only sport I've taken up recently is squash,
okay.
just for fitness sake, but not really very serious. And then I enjoy it every now and then. But again, that's something I haven't done in more than a month.
Okay, okay. So we know about your passion for racing. What is your other interest in life apart from racing? What engrosses you, keeps your attention? Is there anything else that really captures your imagination?
Well, apart from racing, if there's anything else work related, no. I mean, I like to do a lot of coaching. I like to coach children and people who are enthusiastic about driving. I do a lot of Audi customer coaching, like you said. I like to travel. I try
Okay,
and find ways to travel whenever I can.
okay,
So I always plan in a way, that I manage to do some work, I manage to save some money, and then I go for a vacation.
okay,
But
okay.
even if I can't go anywhere else, Kodaikanal is my go-to place. So
Oh,
just
great.
get into the car and rush to Kodaikanal.
Okay, okay. And outside the country, where do you like to go very often outside India?
I usually go to different places, but
Okay.
because I was traveling to Europe a lot for races during one phase of like 5, 6 years, I used to travel to many different European countries. So I used to make full use of that. Then when I was doing Asia, I traveled to China, I did parts of Malaysia, Thailand, Japan, whenever I got the chance. So I would stay for 1 or 2 weeks after the races and visit these places.
Okay, okay. During the lockdown, would you have liked to be in Kodaikanal, right? Maybe.
Yeah, when it was announced, I was so close to getting into the car and just driving straight there.
Okay, okay, okay.
Didn't think at that point that it would go on this long, but I guess at the end of the day, it's beyond control. It's beyond
Yeah.
everybody else's control, right? It's a virus, so what can you do?
Okay, okay, okay. How are you making use of your time at home? Are you doing anything different? Are you learning something new during this lockdown? Aditya? I would like to know because been a busy guy out on the road, out on the racetrack, teaching,
Yeah.
coaching, a lot of things we're doing. So, how has your lockdown been like?
So actually, once I started doing this whole racing league and the business side of motorsport, it's been very different. The way I've been, the amount of travel, the amount of races, everything has come down. But now that the lockdown has come into place, I've actually started doing a virtual gaming tournament, and it's just esports and sim
Okay,
racing
okay,
we do
okay.
online. So that's actually keeping me quite busy because there's a lot of planning. We're trying to cater to people who play on the computer, people who play on the PlayStation, people who have steering wheels, people who have joysticks. We're trying to cater to everybody who are sitting at home. So yeah, there's a lot of planning involved, and it occupies most of my day. Apart from that, like I said, like maybe an hour for fitness every evening.
Okay.
Uh, I watch some TV and just relax. I'm
Do
actually
you read?
relaxing.
Do you read? Do you read?
I tried in the beginning of the lockdown. I actually read a little bit,
Okay.
but for some reason I kind of stopped. I read half a book and then I stopped and started
Okay.
watching TV. TV was the problem.
Okay. Rohini Rao is saying, "Hi Aditya, the Globetrotter." Yes, he's a Globetrotter.
She's also a globetrotter. Rohini also wants to travel.
Is that a sailor?
She's the sailor, yeah.
Uh,
Rohini the sailor and the doctor.
Doctor as well. Yeah, when I
Yeah,
started
sir.
my journalism career, I wrote an article about her. That was some 15, 16 years ago.
Oh yeah, okay. I think that was also around when I met Rohini the first time.
Okay.
She also used to train with Ramji
Okay.
when he was sailing.
Who doesn't train with Ramji these days? Everyone in the city. I don't know. I think he has some 34 hours a day. He's training everyone.
That's true. And the country, don't forget. Half the country.
Yeah, of the
So many
country.
people coming from around the country to come and train with him.
Okay. Aditya, I'll be, reading out some questions to you. Right arm around the wicket has asked you a question. Can you tell us briefly about X1 and Ultimate T Leagues?
So basically, X1 is an on-track racing league. It's something that Arman and I were always planning for many years, always trying to see how we could do something different for Indian motorsport. And eventually we put a plan in place where we put pen on paper and we said, this looks like a good format that will work for an Indian audience. Because one side of it is developing young talent, but the other side, we always want to grow an audience, right? It's a sport which is very niche. All the audience is going to cricket and a few other sports. So we needed to build that audience for motorsport. So that was basically the whole plan behind how we started X1. And we've completed the first year. We had very good TV viewership as well. We had a lot of sponsors who came on board. We had some very good teams. So it's a great start. Of course, there were many things that could be different that we are now working towards in the future. But at least now we put a start. We've got a base in place. Everybody who took part and who was a part of it had very good feedback as well, and very positive feedback for the future in terms of what we can do to make it better, which is great because everyone now they see that it can grow, right? So that's basically X1 in a nutshell. And Ultimate E is something that honestly we came about during the lockdown. So we were planning to do something like this in July, like in Feb before the lockdown. This was just part of our business plan that in July we'll do some online racing, etc., etc. And before we knew it, suddenly we're all sitting at home, no equipment, nothing, and suddenly we're seeing all over the world people are doing Formula One race and virtual this race and virtual that race, and India didn't have anything at that point. But in a very small way, India did have a few races going on in different places. So again, Arman and I and a few of our other partners, we said, yeah, let's put a plan together. Who has what equipment? Who do we know? Who can we pick up the phone and call and say, can you help us out with this? And we managed to put something together. So, and it's been great. We've had the Maini brothers participate. Narain Karthikeyan participated last week and will be participating this week. So it's good to have names like that. We have some great gamers who've been part of many different gaming competitions in the past, like the Nissan GT Academy, who are also part of the competition. So it's good. It's giving everybody a chance. Unfortunately, we've been getting emails from so many people saying, we want to be a part of it, but we don't have a PC or a PlayStation. But it's the same. Me and Arman, we don't have a PC or a PlayStation. So, we're just remotely handling it. But it's a great experience.
Aditya, are you wiser about X1 first season? I mean, after the first season, are you wiser? Do you know where it didn't work out, and what are the corrective steps you have to take for the second season? How much have you learned from the first season?
Yeah, of course. I mean, within 1 week of this first season getting over, we actually sat together, all of us. We even spoke to a few other people who were involved, and we put together everything that went wrong, so that we knew, this is what we do. We should we should make sure it doesn't happen. We put together everything that went right and said, okay, these are things we can work towards to make it a better future for X1 racing. So, for example, like the cars, we didn't expect so many issues with the cars, but at the end of the day, we wanted to make it affordable for everybody. So, we had brought the cost down to a point where it was cheaper to be a part of X1 racing than to be a part of any other league, including like a volleyball league or a Kho-Kho league. This is from a team owner's perspective. So we did learn from that, but what was great was all the team owners, they have no experience in motorsport. They've never been a part of the sport before. And that was something we didn't expect, except for Naren, who's been a part of the sport. The other 5 teams were just people who are passionate but never had the opportunity, and it's given them also now some hope for motorsport in the country, and given us a lot of hope to work towards something to make it really big.
Okay. Are you confident about the future? Are you bullish about its success in the coming days?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we have the support from a lot of people now. We proved many people wrong in many ways. So, like I said, it's basically that starting point that we've got, and now there's many ways in which we can take it forward. Like I said, there's the virtual side of it, which we will continue to work towards, and then there's the on-track reality side of it. But this year, again, with this whole coronavirus situation, everything is stalled. So we're putting our full focus into the virtual side, and as soon as things start to ease off, we can start to again work towards the reality side.
Oh, it's always great to have the virtual side, right? Now during Corona, whatever that can be done
Yeah,
from home.
exactly.
Yeah, that's a
It's
boon.
entertainment. At the end of the day, we want to keep everybody entertained and not just the players, but people who are watching as well.
Okay. And then how important is it to be TV friendly for any league to be successful? I think that's the key.
It's the
Without that,
key.
without that, I don't see much hope for any league, for that matter, volleyball league or hockey league,
Definitely.
any league. So, how are you
Definitely.
addressing
I
it?
mean,
How are you looking at it? Basically?
so even when we put the league X1 Racing League together, it was very important that it's TV friendly because we're trying to get an audience which is not your regular sports audience or your regular motorsport audience. We were actually trying to tap into an audience of people who watch a lot of alternate sports like football, wrestling, table tennis, volleyball, not your everyday cricket fan even. So this was the audience that we wanted to put together. What was important was we make it very entertaining, short bursts of racing, mixed men versus women. It's one of those few sports where men and women can participate against each other. So the gender equality side also really helped us build on it, and that was our main focus really, to make it viewer friendly. There are many things that we can do now to make it even better, but as a start, it was good because the races were explosive. There was a lot of people who watched it really enjoyed it. And of course, there are many things that can be better, but like I said, it's something that we are working towards for the future, and let's see how it goes.
Okay, all the very best. Our best wishes are with you, and you'll be one season wiser in the second season. You'll
Yeah,
know
absolutely.
what went.
Yeah.
And you were talking about other leagues. What other sport do you watch, Aditya, with passion now? Whenever you have time away from racing, apart from cricket.
But apart from cricket, I mean, with passion, it depends on really the game. Tennis is one game that maybe a few matches I watch with a lot of passion. It
Okay.
depends on who's playing who, which part of the tournament it's got to. So, I'm not too keen on the early stages. I'm more of the semi-final, finals kind of
Oh,
guy. Um, some of the top players have to be playing in the game, but I think it's one of those few sports that I'll then watch uh, with a lot of interest. But apart from that, I actually don't really follow many other sports.
okay. Okay.
I
Do you
like
watch Do you watch Tamil movies? Tamil cinema?
not much actually. No,
Okay.
not
Okay.
really.
Okay, okay. Well, whoever is living in Tamil Nadu cannot escape the Vadivelu factor. Now, do you enjoy his comedies,
I do, but
memes?
still now I've managed to, let's say, escape the Vadivel factor. But eventually, it's going to creep into me. I'm
Okay,
sure.
okay. I think even people who have no connection to Tamil Nadu have fallen for
Yeah,
his
exactly. Yeah,
comedy. North Indians like his comedies, though.
exactly, exactly.
And Aditya, what is your favorite Sholavaram story heard from your father? Anything in particular during his career? Did he narrate anything to you?
Yeah, many stories actually, and I don't know if he's watching. He could be, but
You
uh,
can
there's
tell us
many
anything.
stories where he said, "Oh, I was all the way at the back, and I came and I overtook everybody, and on the last lap, so and so came and T-boned me, and we both crashed out of the race, and then this happened, and then they started fighting, and so there's a lot of stories like that.
Okay.
Um, but I can only remember the ones where he talks about how he came from the back and won those races. So
Oh,
those are those stories that he fondly remembers.
okay.
But so yeah, those are the main stories I've heard. But many stories about what their experience after the race in the garage. How a lot of people used to stay in my house.
Okay.
And saying, "Oh, I used to cook so many puris for them. They used to eat so much. How much these people used to eat? How come you don't eat so much?" And all that, So those are more of the stories that I hear.
And when you hear that name, Sholavaram itself, it kindles something romantic in you, right? No, I mean, people
Like
who
a
are in
festival.
the racing, it's like the bygone era of Sholavaram means so much to so many people, right?
Yeah,
Those days.
absolutely. I never got to witness it firsthand, but I have so many pictures in the photo albums, and the way you see all those people over there. It's like a big festival. How there
Yeah,
used to be a police escort to go from the city to Sholavaram, and all the
yeah.
cars used to follow. And all these fancy cars that used to come from abroad, Formula 2 cars, and all these different type Formula 4 cars, these international drivers, the Sri Lankan bike riders and the drivers, so all those stories are something that are stories I've been hearing since I was a kid.
Yeah, yeah. People had so much no passion for racing those days. I mean, it's like
It was a, it
you
was a
can't
very
even
different
imagine those
atmosphere.
days.
I know
It's so
exactly. It's very different. When I hear about it and what it was then and what it is now, now it's very like, everything is single make, everything is very serious. The drivers just come and drive and go. Back then, they used to prepare their own cars. They used to Vijay Mallya used to bring drivers from abroad to drive his cars. And
yeah,
there used to
yeah,
be all
yeah.
these different things going on. I think another big name that I always hear about is the Maharaj Kumar of Gondal. Uh,
Okay,
you know,
okay.
so all these different people who used to be a part of the sport.
The Karivardhan and
Harivardhan, yeah,
Karivardhan. A lot of, when you hear the name Solavaram, your mind immediately, even if you have not been there,
and
you think
mine goes
about
to
race.
black and white.
Yeah, yeah,
Racing
yeah.
in India, the pictures are the black and white pictures from
Yeah, yeah.
then. I can't
There are,
imagine what it would have been like in color that my eyes would have actually seen.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. When you go talk to some of the 80s kids, they would say, Ilayaraja, 80s films. They
Correct.
would say that was the best period of our lives. You are not an 80s kid. Oh, you missed that and all. Like that, no, those people have
Yeah,
experienced all of they might tell us
exactly.
now.
You may have experienced Sholavaram, right?
No, no, no. I grew up in a village far away from Chennai, but I've heard about it. After I came
Okay,
to journalism, people talk about it. I have not covered racing that much, but whenever
okay.
I heard people talk about racing, this is like something like
Yeah,
80s cinema.
correct. Sholavaram always crops up, and it's amazing how almost every adult at some point in their childhood has been to Sholavaram.
Yeah.
And it's not the same with Irangatikottai. Once the racetrack came into place, you don't have. So I think there's so many other hobbies and interests that people now and entertain forms of entertainment for people now. So it's changed that a little.
Aditya, I wanted to ask you this question. I was reading an article about a Liverpool player, Sadio Mane, about how he grew up in Senegal, in a small village with no coaching facilities. Now he is a global star. Some stats say he's better than Messi in conversion, in giving assists. Absolute rags to riches story. He
Hmm.
didn't have money to buy boots. His father, there is no hospital in this village.
Yeah,
A sport like football has the ability to transform a guy from nothing to a global superstar. But if you see racing, it's still an elite sport, right? People with
correct.
money, people with background can only enter it. Is it a disadvantage? Because if you look at the whole continent of Africa, I mean, it's difficult to imagine a racing champion coming out of it, the entire
Correct.
continent.
Yeah, I mean it does involve a certain amount of backing financially, and you don't see many people who come from rags to riches. Definitely in motorsport, you hear stories of youngsters who had a difficult time in their childhood
Yeah.
because their parents were not very fortunate. But there's always been some amount of financial backing in their early days for them to at least be able to afford to at least be a part of the sport. And it's not cheap to even do one race, even in a go-kart. It's not cheap at all, So you've got to purchase tires, you've got to buy fuel, you've got to keep the upkeep of the go-kart, and everything is a big cost compared to any other sport. So yeah, I think it's difficult for anyone from a developing country even
Yeah, yeah.
to make it big in Formula One. That's why you see majority of the drivers are from all the developed countries. It's
Okay.
great that we had Indian drivers make it there in the past and continue to be on their way there, like Jahat Darwala. It's the opportunities there in India. Like you said, Africa, you don't see many people, but there are a lot of race drivers who are from different parts of Africa in different parts in different forms of motorsport around the world. So there are ways to make it, but it's definitely not easy.
But Aditya, as a lover of racing, would you want the government or even manufacturers to do something about it? Maybe a poor guy who's good at racing should be groomed, should be nurtured through some method, right? Would you like that to happen in India? Because there could be a talent in some
Yeah.
corner of our country, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it would be great. There was a very interesting program a few years ago called the Tata Racing Program, the TRP. That was a truck racing program, and it was something that Tata did to encourage truck drivers in their profession. And what they did was to get their top truck drivers to come and be a part of a training program and then to eventually be trained to be a truck racer.
Okay.
So we actually had a truck race for people who are your everyday truck driver who take your goods, your fruits and vegetables from north to south, you know. So that was a very interesting program because just to see the kind of opportunity that was given to them itself was amazing. But going back to your question about the government and manufacturers, yes, definitely. It would be great if there was some amount of government support and manufacturer support. And in fact, it would be greater if they work together because the automotive industry is huge. The government in many ways relies on the automotive industry. You know, and motorsport helps grow all over the world. Motorsport helps grow the automotive industry. In fact, safety is what it is today in your car because of a lot of race drivers who put their lives at risk in the past and continue to do so. Even when I raced with Audi in over the last few years, a lot of development comes from the races itself in terms of your safety equipment in the car, the brakes, etc. So you know, every 50% of the race car actually goes on to the road car.
Okay.
And that all that translates to what you and I know as a road car today. So it would be great. I would love to see it. It's a sport that can attract a lot of eyeballs, and hopefully soon we can get some government support. I mean, Formula One didn't get it. It came to India for 3 years, and then there was no support, so
Yeah.
so they couldn't come back. But let's see. It's a developing country, so it's again people are going to question why would you spend money
Yeah,
in an
yeah.
elitist, right? So
When the hospitals and schools need funding, would you want
yeah,
to
exactly. Yeah,
invest
I mean
on?
those are priority any day.
Okay. And could you tell us your experience of teaching Virat Kohli in an Audi? Tell us what happened. Did
That was actually a fun thing that Audi put together.
Okay.
He was also a brand ambassador of Audi for many years. Started as a proud customer of an Audi as well. And so he had come to the track, and Audi wanted to do some content for YouTube and for their channels. Anyway, so they told me to sit with him, and they said, you know, why don't you take him around the track and teach him a few things. So I said, yeah, sure. And I sat with him. We did a few rounds around the track. And then I told him, you know what, why don't you let me drive and I'll just show you a few things. I no, I can't. I'm a big bad passenger. Don't let me sit with you. It's still pending. I would still like to take Virat around, put him next to me.
Okay.
But he's a very good driver, a very good listener, and you can see that the sportsperson side is there in him. So if I told him to do something, he was able to implement it immediately.
Okay.
Right? And I think that's just the ability to be able to learn as any sports person would be able to do. Because I can tell you that I've sat with so many people in cars and some people just absolutely won't understand what you're trying to tell them.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
but he, as a sports person, could immediately grasp and understand why I'm saying this is where you need to brake, this is where you turn, and that's where you accelerate. Even though it's not a sport that he normally does. But it was fun. It was a good experience to sit next to him.
Okay.
Surely
Curious to learn from your experiences as a race driver. Was he curious about your racing career?
Yeah, we had a conversation. He always his main thing is always, I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how you guys sit in these cars and drive so fast and it gets really hot and you know, but that's why I told him, why don't you just sit next to me? And he was like, "Ay baapre, no. You do that, you do. I'm not sitting next to you."
So he drove you around and while listening to you. He drove you around while listening to you, right? That's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
and it was really interesting for me to see because you know Virat Kohli is this really aggressive guy on the racetrack on the cricket pitch, but he's a very soft soul off the cricket pitch. So it was very interesting for me to see that.
It's good to know that, right? No, right. They have the smarts. Not only cricketers, all sports persons know what to do in another sport or in a demanding. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good to know. That's very informative.
Like I said, the ability to be able to grasp very quickly as a talented sports person. I guess it just comes to him naturally.
Okay. Aditya, I'm going to ask you some fun questions on rapid fire. Okay. Sachin or Saurav?
Sachin.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
Federer or Nadal?
Pedro.
Tea or coffee?
Tea. So this was also tea.
Oh, great. Clean shaven or stubble?
Stubble.
Dhoni or Kohli? A tough one.
Tough one. CSK always.
Okay. Bails you out. Okay, Kohli, if you are watching, he is Dhoni for CSK, not for anything else. Okay, very diplomatic answer. And Vijay or Ajit? Another tricky one.
Ajit. Because also his fan.
Oh, okay. Have you interacted with Ajit? Have you raced with him? Any experience with Ajit?
I haven't raced with him, but I've interacted with him a few times. And in fact, when I did my first race in Malaysia, you know, the one you were talking about where I scored my podium, my first ever international, he came to watch that race. And it was also a Formula One race. So he actually had taken a lot of pictures. He was in the grandstands. And so he had pictures. So he said, you know, I'll send you all these pictures. And but again, very soft spoken, very humble person. And you know, when his racing was his passion. And I think he kind of saw it from a different perspective every time he came to a racetrack. He always approached it from a different perspective.
People like to take photographs with Ajit. For you, Ajit took photographs of you. That's different.
But this shows that he's such a big fan of the sport itself, and he was just there and enjoying and taking pictures of the track.
I was there as well, I think. I was at the junket when you did that. I know. I told one of my in an earlier Insta live. On the way back from Malaysia, I sat next to Ajit.
Oh yeah, so we were the same flight then.
And no, you didn't let me sleep. He said, "No, you're not giving enough coverage for my sporting career. You're looking at me as an actor." It's surreal. I can't imagine that. No, I traveled next to him in 2006-7. And he really said this. No, I have done this. You have not really looked at my sporting career. You only look at me as an actor.
That's what I said. No, when he's at the racetrack, he approaches it as a completely different person. He's not that actor that you see anymore. He's purely a racer.
Okay, and a couple of more questions, Aditya. Formula car or sports car at Tin Top? What would you like most? Okay.
Tin Top.
Ice cream or juice?
Ice cream.
Schumacher or Senna?
Senna.
Alonso or Hamilton?
Alonso. I could have answered that even before you said Hamilton.
Any particular reason for your...
Just a very big fan of Alonso, and more because of the way of his driving style.
Okay.
Whenever I watched onboard videos of Alonso, I'm just amazed at how he's able to be so smooth and fast. Senna was completely different, but Alonso, just amazing to see the way he can drive any car and so smooth.
Irungattukottai or Kari Motorway is Coimbatore?
Chennai,
Irungattukottai, okay. Next question, Santosh wants me to ask Narayan or Karun. No, I won't ask you. I'm a nice host. I won't ask you. This is another set of questions. I want to tell
no, but
one
you can answer Santosh's question. That's not a problem. I mean, Narayan was always, from my young days, you know, a well-wisher and a supporter. I raced with his team, and he supported me right through my career. So, from that aspect, Narayan, Karun's always been a great friend. Every time I'm in the UK, we always catch up for dinner. And in fact, we worked. He actually gave me this role in the Tata program, him and his dad. And they entrusted me with this role of being the chief instructor. So, you know, I have a great relationship with all of them.
But I have, continuing with the same subject, Aditya, it's like a family, right? You inherited your passion for racing from your dad, as did Arman and then Karun. I mean, is it a family thing? Does it come to people who grew up watching their fathers or grandfathers in racing? Get that?
I guess no. I think there's many ways to look at it. You see many people now in the sport, many kids who are coming from backgrounds that were never part of the sport, and those are actually the majority of the children who are racing right now, and majority of the youngsters who are racing, who have nothing to do with the sport. There are a few people like us who you see, but I would say the main reason is that because our parents were involved in the sport, they they take it upon themselves to support us to go the next step. You know,
Okay.
because they see it as more than just a hobby and more than just something that you do on the weekend. They know that motorsport is something that can actually turn out to be a career for you in the future.
Okay. They
And
understand your passion better than maybe than parents who don't know motorsport, right?
exactly, because it's not your regular career option, right? You can't be in India and say I'm going to be a race driver when you're a kid.
Okay.
People will laugh at you. But you can say I'll be a cricket player. Nobody will laugh at you then. You know. So that's just the way it's the perception of the sport. So
Okay.
you need that support from the family.
I think one tough question. What is the future of motorsport in India? Simple question with a complex answer, maybe. Can you tell us briefly?
I think looking at the way things are going, not just in India but world over, for sure it's going to grow in India. It's continuing to grow, but electric cars are going to come to the forefront eventually, and I see manufacturers starting to use motorsport as a tool to be able to showcase these electric cars, because there's a certain perception that people have that electric cars are not for performance or they cannot perform, right? But motorsport is that kind of playground that these manufacturers have the opportunity to showcase. Mahindra is doing it very well right now, and I can see many other manufacturers starting to get into it
And
to be able
Musk,
to showcase.
Musk in the US is doing a lot more there. Elon
Who's,
Musk.
yeah, Elon Musk, yeah. So, and
Okay.
he's also got into motorsport. There is a championship where Teslas are running. It's only a
Okay.
pure Tesla GT championship. So, and all of them are starting to use motorsport to promote their brand, and particularly the electric drivetrain.
A couple of more questions, Aditya. How to get sponsorship for racing in India? Is there any way to get some sponsorship if I have talent? That's a question from Thomas.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's not easy, I can tell you that. It's very difficult. You have to go knock on 100 doors, 1,000 doors to even have, some kind of positive response. To start with, you need to be winning races, whether you're a bike racer, car racer, or rallying. Unless you have a lot of race wins and a championship win on your CV, it's very, very difficult to really start getting sponsors. And my personal advice would be just find whoever's closest to home. It could be your relatives, it could be your family, friends. These are people who will be your early supporters, but they will at least help you get a start. And once you get that start, you can get these wins, you can get these championships that will then enable you to go to the next level, which will be to the big corporates, etc. The, who to approach? It can be anybody really. It just has to be someone you have to find who's passionate about the sport. We found 6 team owners, 5 team owners last year who were absolutely passionate about the sport. We didn't know who they were before we met them. And just like that, you never know. Two of them are actually supporting the drivers who participated in their teams to race abroad. And now
Oh,
suddenly they're involved in the sport. So you never know who you may find, but you have to keep knocking on doors.
fantastic. Well said, Aditya. And what about safety? Another question I saw a couple of minutes ago. Have you
Yeah,
done enough? No, is it? We are seeing accidents now and then.
yeah.
What's your take on that?
Well, motorsport is never going to be 100% safe. At the end of the day, you're driving cars at high speed. You're driving on racetracks with multiple variables, different cars, different weather conditions, different surfaces, different runoff areas, different safety aspects for each circuit. So it will never be 100% safe. But again, going back to what it was 20 years ago, um, I think tomorrow is today the 30th.
Yeah, that is
Uh,
right.
so tomorrow will be the death anniversary of Ayrton Senna. And going back to his time, where on that race weekend, 2 people lost their lives in Formula One. Rubens Barrichello had a very serious incident on the same weekend, very close to losing his life in Formula One, and all this happened on this particular timeline, but 16 years ago. No, what am I saying? 26 years ago. So from then till now, a lot has changed. The number of deaths you see in motorsport is a lot less, but it has to be, unless you have a really violent crash, it's very difficult to lose a life in motorsport these days. that it's all credit goes to the manufacturers of cars and components to be able to make something as safe as they are. In fact, I feel safer in the race car than I feel walking down GN Shetty Road.
Okay. And May 1st is for Ajit fans, their Tala's birthday, right? May 1st.
Ah, is it? Okay.
Tomorrow is going to be a big
Tomorrow is his birthday. Tomorrow's a big day.
And this question also I had always wanted to ask you. Is that Patel surname a burden for you? One, because of your father. They always tend to compare your career with your father's. Your father
Yeah.
was talented like this. Some people might come and tell you.
Yeah.
And another thing is, people might find out that you are a Guju. All over the world, they have preconceived
Patels
notions about Patels, how smart you are in making money and keeping it. So, how do you look at it? Do you like carrying that name, or
It
you would
is,
prefer?
I can tell you this. And no disrespect to Patels, but it is a burden in many ways. If you travel to it's I don't know why, but people judge you for whatever reason. But when I travel to many countries and I tell people my name, and if they happen to be Indian, for some reason they also happen to be Gujarati and they start talking to me back in Gujarati. And my Tamil is much better than my Gujarati.
Okay.
So I can't speak Gujarati at all because I was born here, brought up here. And they're just shocked to see that a Patel cannot speak.
He's a Madras Patel. He's a T-Nagar Patel.
I'm a Madras Patel, exactly. So yeah, and of course, going back to my dad, yes, there will always be people who say, yes, it was your father who was a race driver, and and you're doing it because it's your father. But I know I'm doing it because I absolutely love it. I've tried doing other things in the middle, but I just didn't enjoy it at all. I always close my eyes at night to go to sleep, and I start driving around a racetrack. So I think when that happens, I think I automatically know what I want to do.
Okay. Karan has asked another question. Which course shall I choose for my master's? Motorsport management or motorsport engineering? Can you answer it briefly?
But
Motorsport
they're
engineering.
very different things. I mean, it depends on what you want to do in your future. If you want to get into managing teams, managing drivers, managing motorsport events, then of course you'll go for motorsport management. But if you are an engineer and you're a passionate engineer, then motorsport engineering is something that you would take. There's a great example of a young Indian who I know, who I've known since he was a kid. His name is Nikhil Kashyap. He used to kart back then, and a very good kart racer. And he pursued motorsport engineering, and now he's working for the Hyundai WRC team as a motorsport engineer. Within I think 2 years of finishing his course, he's already one of their main engineers. So the future is there. It is doable, but you have to be as passionate as someone as Nikhil Kashyap to really. In fact, he contacted me when he was looking for jobs. He's like, "Can you connect me to somebody, anybody, any racing team? I'll go work for them for free. I don't want any money." And that's the way he wanted to work. And now that's taken him very, very far.
Fantastic. And we are going to end the session with the rapid fire questions. I'll
Sure.
tell a name. Just say one word about them. Narayan.
Fast,
Karun.
smart,
Arman.
um, ambitious,
Ramji.
Kanna,
In Rajini's words, Kanna Abdisulla.
Kanna,
And Kamlesh Patel.
chef.
Okay. Eat well. Then
Yeah, absolutely. We love to eat up.
it's a pleasure, Aditya. I know 1 hour whizzed past us.
It's been 1 hour already.
Yeah. Finish this,
I
and
know.
we had a fabulous session. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. You were a great sport. Now I know why you are universally liked. You are such a wonderful guy.
Thanks, Prakash. Thanks a
Tell
lot.
your girlfriend this, okay?
I will.
An amazing chap. No, we had a great time, and this video will be We will put this up on YouTube as well for those
Sure.
who have not watched it now.
I'll send it to them.
And Gold Quiz is grateful to you for taking your time off and talking to us on Instagram. Please
No, thanks. It's a pleasure.
say your wishes to our Gold Quiz, and then we'll say bye.
I will. I mean, best wishes for Gold Quiz, obviously. I'm going to start following you more often now and seeing and being in touch. So I'm looking forward to it.
Fantastic, Aditya. Love you. Thank you very much. Take care. Stay safe.
You too. You too. Take care.
No driving now.
No driving, only simulation.
Only virtual
Only
racing.
online.
Only virtual
Only
racing.
virtual racing. Everybody watching virtual racing is the way to go.
Fantastic, Aditya. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks,
Okay,
Raghu.